we experience a lot of rejection that ends up being a big deal later on, like from a young age, right? We get a lot of, well, you shouldn't be like this. You should try better. You should try harder to be like this. You're a little too lazy, or you're a little too that. You need to just. It's like my point number one. You just need to, right? That's what we hear all the time growing up as kids. And when we get to adults, it doesn't stop at jobs, right? We get into a job, we might miss the signs that someone is angry with us because we'll miss those passive aggressive signs. We don't realize that this criticism is actually the beginning of the end and the shoe is dropping, and we're actually going to get barraged with like the giant list of 50,000 things we have to change about ourselves in order to maintain that job. And we're not going to feel very welcome anymore. And we're either going to quit on our own accord and leave, or we're going to get pushed out, or we're going to get fired. And these are real threats that have real consequences, because changing jobs, it takes effort. It takes money. You have to save up stuff, if you can save up stuff, to allow for lapse in employment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is a real issue that adult ADHDers face. It is a real issue with systemic bias, with discrimination, with employers not wanting to provide accommodations. It's fair to say that a lot of adult ADHDers have had such a negative experience with an authority figure kind of verbally abusing, quite frankly, us and bullying us about our differences, that it has had real world threat, real world consequences. And it makes a lot of sense that our brains are very reactive, and the trauma gets triggered by, oh no, does this mean my boss has been unhappy with me for like a year and I didn't know it? That's a reasonable, normal response when you consider it in the context of the widespread societal rejection. When I first heard rejection since dysphoria, I thought, oh, cool, another thing I need to know about my brain and how I'm different. But the more I sat with it, the less I liked it, because the more it started to feel like I shouldn't actually trust my emotions. I shouldn't trust what I'm feeling because my feelings are too big and I shouldn't trust them. And that's not cool, and it's not right, and it feels like you're just going to start gaslighting yourself more and more, when in reality, what I feel like I was actually experiencing is much better defined by rejection sensitivity from the trauma literature. And quite frankly, from going through my own mental health journey for my own individual traumas, the rejection sensitivity piece, that stuff reacts and responds to trauma techniques for mental health. So like, if it responds to trauma treatment and it feels like a traumatic trigger, I feel like maybe we can call a spade and say like, this rejection sensitivity is from societal trauma that results in ableism and societal bias.